Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're here today with another Sims 2 video, but this is a little bit different than anything I've done before, though it has been quite highly requested, if I can get away with saying that. So I just figured we may as well do it today. Today we're actually going to be looking at my 10 favourite mods in The Sims 2. Now this list is obviously not exhaustive by any means, and I do have a lot of mods in my game, some of which I would consider essential, like ones that sort of ease corruption issues and just sort of keep the game running smoothly. I have not included them. I've included ones that either, spice up gameplay, just make the day-to-day a bit easier, that kind of thing. So if you want me to talk more about mods that, keep the game running well, I can obviously discuss that in the future, or just give you a hand down in the comments below if you have any questions about specific mods. But let's just get into it. So the first mod that we're going to talk about today is ACR, or Autonomous Casual Romance. Now this is basically a romance overhaul in The Sims 2, and I absolutely love it. Now that I've played with ACR, I couldn't play without it. So if you click on your sim here, and then click Adjust, Casual Romance, and Spawn Adjuster, this set of phone books will pop up on your floor, and this is your ACR adjuster. This controls everything about this mod. If you go into Change Model, you can make the phone books look like whatever you want them to. I usually always pick a philodendron, just so I know what my ACR adjuster is and where it is on every single lot. Now there are a lot of different parts of this mod, whereas I mainly use it for, randomizing gender preference of Sims and for risky woohoo. So risky woohoo, or casual woohoo as it's known in The Sims 2, basically just means there is a chance that when your Sims woohoo, they will get pregnant even if they haven't tried for a baby. And I just love, sort of gambling with that kind of thing in The Sims. I think it's so much more realistic and I think it's really fun. So the main things I use for this mod for are, if you click on your adjuster and then show my token stats, this gives you all the romance information about your Sim. So it'll let you know how jealous they are, how likely they are to get pregnant if they try for a baby, what they'll wear when they woohoo, who they're most interested in romantically. It just gives you a nice oversight into your Sim and a bit more information on their romantic life. In a clean neighborhood, when I'm just starting, one of the first things I will do is go into gender preference, hood, and then I will just run the randomizer on the whole hood. I typically don't play around with I also make it high, but I typically don't play around with the sort of base features of the neighborhood and the sort of try for baby chance or anything. I don't play with the percentages because I don't really understand them. But there are a whole other range of things this mod can do. So in hood-wide settings, you can put global overrides. So, if you want your pregnancy odds to be 100%, you can set that so your neighborhood will just be pregnant all the time. You can change what they'll wear to woohoo, so if you only want them to woohoo in underwear, that's fine, you can do it. If you want to have a neighborhood full of polyamorous Sims, you can do that as well by having no jealousy. You can change settings on individual Sims, whether you want them to be pregnant, what their ideal family size is, whether you want them on birth control, which is handy if you have female romance Sims. You can give them autonomy, which obviously influences the autonomous factor in this mod. So if your Sim is around someone they're romantically involved in, they will autonomously kiss, woohoo, flirt, all that kind of thing. You can also make booty calls, which is exciting. So if you do make booty call, which we'll just test with Dina just now, they will call the Sim they're most romantically inclined towards. So for example, Dina is romantically involved with Mortimer, so she's going to make a booty call to him. And there's just a lot of different things that this mod can do, and this just does completely change the way that romance works in this game, and I absolutely love it. There's a lot of depth this mod has that I just don't even touch upon in my normal gameplay, but whatever you need this mod to do romance wise, it will probably be able to do it. So we're just going to skip until Mortimer comes and see if Nina gets autonomously pregnant. So Dina just waits outside until Mortimer comes over, and then they have their booty call. So we're going to give them privacy for that. We don't need to bat heads. But they just kind of get romantic outside, and then they'll go up to like the nearest available place to woohoo, i.e. a bed or a hot tub. And you know, they will get it on. So as you can see, ACR also affects how your Sims dress for Woohoo. Nina and Mortimer are just going bare. They're going bare. And, you know, that's fine. Obviously, if you play without the pixelation in your game, I guess it could maybe add a bit more realism, kind of like Wicked Whims in The Sims 4. I don't really need to see my Sims bits, so I don't do that. But yeah, they're having a good old time. So since this woohoo is marked as a casual woohoo, this is when that Dina has a chance to get pregnant afterwards. So we'll just let them do their thing. But from my experience, booty calls are always marked as casual woohoos, so there always is that risk factor with them. I assume that's something you can change in settings, but as I've said before, I like the risk factor. I think that's fun. I'm not hearing a baby jingle though, so Dina didn't get pregnant. So I mean, that's just a risk she has to take. But that is basically ACR. That is the mod as a whole. I really enjoy it. I couldn't play without ACR in my game anymore. I love the sort of chaos that it brings. And I just like the extra spice in my gameplay. So, oh, we're getting burgled. Oh no. Well, we're just going to leave this bit here and then we'll move into the next mod. So the next mod we're going to talk about is the Sim Blender, and if you've been watching any of my Sims 2 gameplay for a while, you'll have noticed that appearing a ton in my videos. So if we go into miscellaneous, this here is the Sim Blender and it only costs 10 simoleons. So we just pop that anywhere in the house. We're just going to put that in Dina's bedroom just now for ease, and it just blends in. It looks like this little plant, and this is basically like Master Controller in The Sims 3 or possibly MC Command Center in The Sims 4. I don't really play with mods in The Sims 4, so I can't really attest what it's similar to. I'm just guessing it is. This basically allows you to play God. So you have changed the... Oh, you can change the model for this as well. I usually never do. I like to leave mine the sort of base one. If we can ever get back to it, there we go. So you have some different options for the model. You can, you know, change the age of Sims. You can, you know, sort of similar to the Elixir of Life, you can make them older, younger, or just revert their age completely. This is really handy if you're making like machinimas or you want to play a different time period in a neighborhood. I used it when I was doing my What Happened to Bella Goth. I changed the ages of Mortimer, Cassandra, and Alexander using the Sim Blender. You can change people's appearances, you can change aspirations, randomize, max their aspiration points. You know, you can add people to the therapist. I saw that there. You can add people to the family. You can make Dina a townie if you want. You can move in Sims. Super handy. Obviously, you can max all motives. Again, this is super handy if you are doing a machinima. You can just max everybody and leave it there. You know, you can control pregnancy with this. You can control relationships. You know, there are skills. So if you are making a town, for example, or a neighborhood even, this is really handy for setting up Sims. So they are fully fleshed out Sims. You don't have to sit there and make them learn all these things. You can just, you know, add a body point into Dina if you want. You can change traits for them. You can change traits for the neighborhood. Another big thing I like to do with the Sim Blender is re-roll the lifetime wish. So for example, Dina's current one has become a business tycoon. I don't like that for her. We're just going to re-roll it. And now she wants to earn 100,000. This, again, very handy if you play once-based and you like them to try and reach their lifetime wish. Or even if you get a Sim and the lifetime wish just doesn't suit them. Like, for example, my dad in Dreamer usually always gets Hand of Poseidon. And it's like, no, that's not what Darren wants to do. He's not going to be a fish chimmer. Thank you very much. But you can also teleport people here, make people selectable. I really like doing this with my female Sims on other lots. So for example, if we are playing Dawn Lothario and he invites Nina over, we can make Nina selectable with the Sim Blender and there is a chance she could get pregnant. So I just think that's really fun. You know, you can change names, careers, personality. There is just so much that you can do with the Sim Blender and I would be lost without it. I use it constantly in The Sims 2 and I could not imagine playing without it. If you do not have the Sim Blender in your game, you need it. You absolutely need it. So the next mod that I want to talk about is the community time lot. So if you've played the vanilla version of The Sims 2, you'll know that when time passes on a community lot, when your sim comes home, it will be the same time that they left. So we've just called a taxi to take Nina somewhere, and it's currently like 5 AM. So if Nina went out now and she spent the whole day there, she would come back and it would still be 5 AM. And that's a feature that I've always hated. We're just going to send her at 250 Main Street, like I don't care. That's a feature I've always hated in The Sims 2. I mean, it's quite handy if you're only playing a single sim and they have like extra time to gain skills or whatever. But it's just, it's not for me. Not for me at all. So what this means is when Nina's gone, the time she's gone for passes in this house as well. Kind of. So Dina will still be here. So when we come back with Nina, Nina will be gone, but Dina can still play on. So I've not explained that well at all, but you'll see what I mean when we get there, hopefully. So we have arrived home with Nina, but we have a pop-up here that says Nina's due home in 5 hours and 22 minutes. So as you can see here, the time is still like 5, 6 AM is when Nina left. So we can play Dina when she wakes up as normal, but Nina will not be here. So the community time mod really does just mean that when your sim goes out to a community lot, they don't just get extra time, like they don't time travel. So if Nina leaves her lot at whatever time she left, you know, that 5 hours has still passed in game for her. So it's just kind of like she's just like waiting for the carpool or whatever. She acts as like a runaway here, but you know, she will be back after that. And that's fine. So that's what this mod does. We have really struggled to explain this one for some reason, but I just think it adds a bit more realism, and I think you can do some really cool storytelling things with this mod, so highly recommend. The next mod I want to talk about is the community skilling mod. Again, if you have played the vanilla version of The Sims 2, you'll know that Sims cannot earn skill points on community lots, which is ridiculous to me. And this mod has been an absolute lifesaver. I like having community lots that my Sims can learn skills on. Like, for example, if my Sim goes to the gym, I want them to get their body point, you know? But with this community skill mod, it literally does what it says on the tin. It allows your Sims to earn skills on community lots. We're currently at one of the shops in Pleasant View, I don't know which one, or the pool even. And here Nina is learning the logic skill. This is really handy if you have sort of lower income families. See, Nina has gained her point of logic. For example, like the broke family, they can't afford every skill object under the sun, so it's nice that they can go to community lots to learn these skills. But yeah, very handy mod, could not play without it, now I have it in my game. The next mod that I want to talk about is NPC and Tony Aging. So we have come out to a community lot to test this one out, and we have got a couple people here that should hopefully age up. So in the Sims 2 vanilla version, only your played household ages. Every day at 6 PM, they will age by 1 day. So that means a lot of the time, if you only play like certain households, townies and NPCs they stay the same forever. You can have like 3 generations of Sims that are all friends with Alvin Fuda, for example. And we don't like that. So this mod basically means that every townie and NPC on an active lot at 6 PM will age by 1 day. Now this isn't story progression by any stretch of the imagination, but this is so handy when you play rotationally, and it does just help the neighborhood age with you. So even if they're just walking past your house at 6 PM, they should age. So obviously there's not really any way to test this, because I don't know what age they were when they began, but all these townies and NPCs here will age. This does not affect playable Sims, so Lilith Pleasant will not have aged by 1 day. So again, if you're playing rotationally, absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about your playable households aging without you. You won't miss birthdays or anything. It just ages up your non-playable Sims until you're ready to use them. So unlike aging them up on birthdays and things, it helps keep the neighborhood alive and kicking. And I highly recommend. I think it's a fun mod. I do like my neighborhood to sort of change and evolve with me, and story progression is just not what I look for in The Sims 2, so this is a nice happy medium for me. The next mod that I want to talk about, we are going to test with the Pleasant family, one of the most dysfunctional families in Pleasant View. But this is the extended family mod, or extended family treated like family. Sorry, it's really loud in this room. I'm just gonna scoot over here. Yeah, the extended family treated as family mod. So, whoops, the school bus is here. Don't you dare leave. Don't you dare. Basically, in The Sims 2, the only people that are registered as family are your immediate family. So even though people are included in the family tree, for example, Daniel's sister Jennifer has a daughter Lucy, and Lucy is tied to Angela and Lilith through family, but it doesn't recognize like aunts, uncles, cousins, great grandparents, all that kind of thing. It doesn't recognize them as family. So some interactions, such as, where is Lucy? Family kiss, for example. If you were playing Vanilla Sims 2, you wouldn't be able to do that. And, you know, Vanilla Sims 2 gets a little bit too incesty quite quickly, which honestly, not my jam, not what I want to do. So I do have the extended family mod treated as a family. So it does just let us, you know, give Lucy a family kiss. We're not actually friends with her though, so she'll probably refuse it. And say, like, Mary Sue, for example, she's also considered an aunt to Lucy, even though they're not related by blood. You know, Jennifer considered a sister-in-law. It just really helps keep... Sorry, this house is so loud. Like, you can go to school now, it's fine. But it does just really help sort of strengthen family connections in The Sims 2 and does stop any unwanted romance happening between people who in theory are family. So I love it, and I'm a family game player, you know, that's what I enjoy, so I love having the strengthened family bonds between Sims. The next mod that I want to talk about is a great one for realism, and it's the car spawning hydrant. Again, you can find that in miscellaneous. This is where most of your mods tied to items will be found. So basically, if you put this on your lot, it runs on like a timer, and every so often cars will drive past your house, and it just makes your neighborhood look more alive. So it comes in like a variety of different swatches, but the one I always put down is invisible. So normally I'll have move objects on, and I will put my invisible one down and I'll hide it in like plants or bushes or something, just so you don't see the shadow, or sometimes behind a tree. I normally like to try and put it at the back corner of my lots though, just so I know where my hydrants are. As I said though, as they do run on a timer, if you want your sort of house, the road outside your house to be busier, place more hydrants down, but don't place them all down at once. Like, I'm going to place a couple more hydrants down just now, just so we can see some cars. But realistically, you know, you want them spaced out a bit, just so the road looks a bit more realistic. In sort of housing areas like this, I normally only put one hydrant down, just because this is like a quiet residential road. In sort of downtown areas, I might put, you know, 3 or 4 in a lot, just so cars drive past the house. And as you can see, just while I've said that, there's been ambulances, there's been the social worker, there's been sports cars, you know, there's been a whole host of traffic that's come past this street. And I just think that's really fun, and it does make your neighborhood feel so much more alive. So definitely for realistic gameplay, highly recommend. So one of the big sort of pros about The Sims 2 is that you can take your Sims clothes shopping. You know, Sims 3 and Sims 4 haven't had it to the same extent, although Sims 4 you can buy clothes, but I just don't see why you would, since you can give yourself a makeover from the dresser. So this mod probably won't be Lilith. Can you just calm down, please? This mod probably won't be for everyone, but I think it's really handy, especially if you're setting up a neighborhood and giving people makeovers. But this is the Gassy mode. So if you click on your sim and then click Gassy, you can give them plastic surgery, change appearance, buy clothes, plan their outfit, change everything, you know, buy them jewelry. There's so many things you can do. I usually do not do plastic surgery or plan outfit. Usually I will change their appearance if their makeup's a bit strange, or change their hair. Obviously what you would do when you change your appearance. Or sometimes if I don't like their outfit, I'll buy their clothes. So here it just takes you into the same menu you would get if you went to a mirror, and you can change everything about your sim here. So we'll just give Mary Sue that. And then if we go to Gassy again and buy clothes, you know, it takes you into the everyday option as if you went to like a clothes rail. And if you don't want to buy anything, just click out and it'll cycle through all their outfits like this. Now, I personally really like this feature. Normally, I only take my Sims to clothes stores if they sort of roll the wish to buy clothes, but if I'm giving them their makeover after their birthday, it's really handy just to be able to do that in the house. Also, some sim kids, they kind of need plastic surgery when they're older. For example, Dina and Malcolm Landgrab make horrible children. So that is definitely one that you would be a qualifier for plastic surgery. But I think that mod's just really handy and it's such a time saver, so I definitely recommend. The next mod I want to talk about is another one that you purchase, but this is actually in electronics. So we are going to get Monique's hacked computer, if I can get one. I think this is one. Yeah, there we go. So basically this is a computer and it just gives you a lot more interactions. So you can do delivery, you can, study badges. This is like your talent badges in The Sims 2. You can do online shopping. So if you Sims get the really annoying want to get a mobile phone, you can buy a cell phone just from your computer. There is online banking, so you can pay your bills, you can bank for your children, you can, keep everyone's finances separately if that's the kind of thing you do. So for example, if Angela got an A in her report card and got that little pop-up saying, oh, her grandparents are so proud, she's been given 100 simoleons. You could put that into Angela's bank account and then that would be her money and it's kept separate from the family funds. It's a handy way to play if you like realistic finances and you really like to micromanage that kind of thing. Yeah, buy the cell phone. I typically don't use the online banking feature. I like having sort of pooled resources and I do like having things just left as they are. The thing I really like about this is I do like being able to have, food delivered super fast. I like being able to study badges for certain things. I think that's really fun and I do like the extra options that this computer has. So definitely recommend it. It's a fun one to use. So this next mod that I'm going to talk about is probably the simplest one on the list, but it is also probably my favorite. And it is called Simply Leftovers. So if you have played the Vanilla Sims 2, you will know that if your sim makes a group meal, to put that group meal in the refrigerator, you have to put it in as a group meal. And then every time your sim needs food, they have to take out the whole big serving bowl and then get a single bowl from that and then put the group meal back in the fridge. And it is just so annoying. Whereas with this mod, you can click put away leftovers and put away as single plates. That is just an absolute game changer. You don't realise how much the newer iterations of The Sims have spoiled you, like Sims 3 and Sims 4, when now you can just get your leftovers and it shows you as single plates rather than have to take out the big serving bowl. I mean, game changer. That's my absolute favourite mod in The Sims 2. And if you could only get... Oh, I'm just going to pause this because of the drama unfolding. But yeah, if you can only get one mod from this list, and if you couldn't get Sim Blender, I mean, that would probably be my recommendation. But get Simply Leftovers. It is so handy, and especially for quite a lazy game player. Like, if you just want your sim to get a sandwich, you don't need them to get the whole plate of sandwiches, But yeah, that is my top 10 favourite mods that, give your gameplay a bit of oomph or just ease the day-to-day tasks. I couldn't play without these. What do you think? Have I left any out? What are your favourite mods in The Sims 2? If I haven't already mentioned this, all these mods, of course, will be linked down below, so you can check out more information about them on their actual pages and things, and, just see what other people have to say. But, if you're interested in modding The Sims 2 at all, this would probably be like my starting place for that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with my list? Are there any that I have missed out? Have I missed out your favourite mod? Also, if you want to see any more videos like this, do let me know, because I'm always happy to talk about The Sims 2. The Sims 2 is my baby, and I just want to share her with everyone. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, please consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribing, because I would really appreciate that. And I will see you all in the very next video. Bye!